Shalom, Israel. It's your boy New Breed coming through with another live stream. As you come into this live, make sure you mash that thumbs up button. We got a very pivotal conversation this afternoon. It's a thinking man's game. What's good, family? As you come into the chat, mash the thumbs up to show your support. I see y'all rolling in pretty quick. The topic of the day. This is a thinking man's game. Yes. You know, a wise man said, don't bite anything that you can't swallow. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Choose your battles wisely. Matter of fact, I like to quote Sun Tzu from The Art of War when he says, never let your enemies dictate the terms of war. Never let your enemies dictate the terms of war. Man, that's some pivotal information. Back in the day, I would study Sun Tzu, The Art of War. I would study different things and read different books. And I'm going to share something with y'all. I'm going to share a little bit about my personal life that I don't really get into. Stuff about my past, right? That a lot of people don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, before I woke up to this truth of who I am, according to the scriptures, before I learned my ancestral lineage, before I understood that we come from the bloodline of royalty, I was actually gangbanging, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's hard to believe because I'm so refined at this moment, but it was once upon a time. And I know a couple of brothers I hit up to watch this chat, a couple brothers I grew up with, Smurf and Freddie P, if you watching this, I'm going to tell a couple stories here. I went to Woodstock Job Corps in Baltimore. There, I was jumped in, banging GD. GD is what I was into. It didn't take long before banging GD where I learned tactics, tactical warfare. In fact, I was labeled a warlord. Anybody who know about gangs and gang activity, I was labeled what they would call a warlord because I was always strategic. I would do things and plan things in advance. And I would have plans. I would have contingency plans to get out of trouble. But I thought I was too smart for my own good. Because a lot of the times, the Most High is the one who punishes you. Even if you don't get caught by law, even if you don't get caught by the law enforcement, the Most High has a way of getting back at you when you make a mistake. Now, I put that out there for a couple reasons. I spent a lot of time out here, out there in Emerson Village, out there in Park Heights in Baltimore, and I learned some valuable lessons about war. Although I was on the left-hand side at that time, I didn't understand myself. I didn't understand where I was going. I didn't understand life. So, of course, we was fighting against our own people. As I grew, as I became a man of truth and understood who I was, I redirected my focus towards my true enemy. I began to study to show myself approved. I began to get knowledge, wisdom, and find out that 90% of your battles are mental. And only 10% of your battles are actually physical. Even when you get into a ring, you can ask Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather told you, that he's a defensive fighter. Floyd Mayweather frustrates his opponents. He plays the defense. He counterpunches. He lays his opponents down. He wins the battle. Because he dictates the terms of war. He dictates the terms of war. He sets the pace in the ring. He comes up with the terms. He doesn't bite off more than he can chew. He knows how to choose his battles wisely as well, which is a part of war. Now, the reason we having this conversation, ladies and gentlemen, is because I want you to relate everything I'm saying to the current climate that you're living in. I want you to relate everything I'm saying to the current climate that you're in life. George Soros funded Black Lives Matter. Yeah. George Soros funded Black Lives Matter. So right now you got brothers and sisters in the streets. Some brothers and sisters are trying to stand up for what's right. And I commend those brothers and sisters. I commend those brothers and sisters for being on the forefront because their heart is in the right place. But I want you to realize that this is war. What you got taking place right now is strategic warfare. Anytime you fight a war at all in life, you got to fight to win that war. You never bite off more than you can chew. You always look at the end result. You always look at how does this end in our favor. You never, ever bite off more than you can chew. You have a plan. Plan A, plan B, plan C, and even a contingency plan for all those plans. Now, let me put this out here. When it comes to police brutality, there should be a code of conduct in our community that don't exist. What happened to George Floyd was traumatizing to a lot of people. It was evil. It was demented. It was twisted. Those cops was tyrants. But I'm going to put this out here. If the onlookers would have helped this man, you wouldn't see the current climate that you see right now. And that's not the guilt trip. That's not the guilt trip, the onlookers. Because I get it. You were afraid of a badge. Although those men didn't look strong at all. They looked feeble and weak. But guess what? If you would have helped your brother, it would have never happened. So what is the takeaway? The takeaway is you don't allow that to happen in your community no more. You learn from situations. A cop is beating on your brother or sister unlawfully. You band together. You help that brother or sister. That's where eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth comes into play. That's where the book of Ecclesiastes come into play. Now, right now, what we got going on is chaos. A lot of people are out there in the name of mischief, because I'm gonna put it out here. When friendly protests went wrong in Minnesota, every other city that participated already knew that they was getting into some mischief, because the friendly protesters, they went home. They already knew they was getting into some mischief, y'all. which I'm not against violence when it needs to be violence. I'm not against retaliation when it needs to be retaliation, but I'm intelligent. I understand warfare. I look at the end game. I look at what's the end result. Now, what's the end result? Martial law? Yeah. I mean, all you people who are representing and trying to stand strong, all you protesters, all you rioters, all you looters, all you various factions who are promoting what's taking place in the streets right now. Let me ask you this. What's the end game? What's the end game from burning down or looting and destroying AutoZone? What's the end game? No car parts. So if you need to escape and you got a bad transmission or you got a bad timer belt, your ass is stuck because they done shut down AutoZone. Or you get the grocery store shut down when people start looting, and there's your food supply. All ending in martial law. Who organized this? What was the plan? Now, if you are, let's say hypothetically speaking, let's say hypothetically, you're going to take something over, right? You're going to go to war with these people, right? Say hypothetically. Wouldn't you want to take over all the food supply and the crops, the trucks, the food trucks? Wouldn't that make more sense to take over? Wouldn't it make more sense to take over something that's tangible? Not destroy it, but take it over. Thank you for the donation, family. Appreciate it. You are the voice of our people right now, big bro. Go harder than ever for the kingdom. No doubt, family. No doubt. What's the end game? I ask. That's what I want to know. Now, you had protesters go to the police officer's house. No damage was done. Nobody was hurt. So even if it was eye for an eye, they strategically made sure that that didn't happen. In fact, the people who went to the house, they announced on social media they was going to the house. This ain't war. This ain't war. This is sheep being led to a slaughter. Plain as day. Nowhere in the Holy Bible, see, if you was following that word, nowhere in the Holy Bible do the Most High elected people have a mass takeover with rocks and signs and gasoline and lighters. No, not there. It's not there. See, people are out here fighting for equality. The Most High deemed you special above many, many nations. So that means you're not even equal to these devils that you're fighting to be equal with. You're above them. Yeah, you're not equal to them, and they're not equal to you. You are above them. But you continuously fight for equality in a land where they look at it like you are below them. If I brung you to my country, I made you work. I made you build my country. Why the hell will I make you equal to me? That's how your enemies think. That's how you should think. So instead of looking for equality with these signs and these rocks, why don't you look for freedom? Freedom. Freedom is what's needed. And I'm going to tell you like this. There will be no freedom fighting for equality. When the Most High sends his son, yes, I do believe somebody's coming out of the sky, because people accuse me of being a religious fanatic, because I believe wholeheartedly that there's going to be a man that comes out of the sky with 100 chariots on fire. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it, and I'm going to believe that, not even probably. I'm going to believe that for my entire life, that Christ is going to return. And I can tell you this now. The revolution will not be televised, ladies and gentlemen. Like you see right now, going on TV, every news broadcast, a televised fake psyop revolution spearheaded by George Soros. No, the revolution won't be televised. And on top of that, when Christ come with 10,000 angels on chariots, it's going to be a perfect execution. Perfect execution. Because vengeance is the Lord's. And his execution is something coming from the God of war. See, the Bible says, the Most High says, he's a God, he's a man of war. Of war. So the Most High got plans, contingency plans, plan A, plan B, plan C. Yeah. And it won't be this sloppy garbage that you see on TV. Thank you for the donation, family. Love you, New Breed. I'm ready for the fight for the Most High. Absolutely. All praises. Yeah. When the Most High sends execution, it's going to be perfect. Perfect. Flawless victory. I had to do it, because that's what it's going to be. All those underground bunkers that they building right now, the Most High and his angels, they're going to go to those bunkers and they're going to snatch those cave-dwelling demons out. Yeah. So the bunkers they got set up, they're going to be evaded. I'm talking about perfect war. All of the aircrafts they built, all of the fighter jets that they built, all of the technology that they don't even show you, the Most High gonna have something that come out that sky even better than that. Yeah. The question is, will you be a part of that war? Will you be a part of that war, or will you die in vain? Yeah, I said it. If you go out there and you riot, you loot, you break into Target, you break into the jewelry store, you break into the Gucci store, and they kill you, your ass died in vain. In vain. And a lot of these people who out there looting don't give a damn about George Floyd. Let's just put that out there. They're simply out there to be opportunists. And then you have provocateurs out there. Provocateurs who are funded by the same organizations designed to take away more freedoms. They want to label you a terrorist. Do you know that burning down a precinct is a terrorist act? Who knows who did it? But I can tell you who they're going to blame it on. I can tell you who they're going to blame it on. Now, is it intelligent what brothers and sisters are doing right now? Absolutely not. Not from a perspective of someone who studies war and understands war. And I'm going to tell you this right now, I'm no coward. Anybody who grew up with me, they can vouch for that. I'm no coward at all. And my reason for not being down there in the midst of all the chaos is because I'm intelligent. But I can tell you this much. This is a thinking man's game. Use your mind. Use your mind. If people were using their minds, right? I'm going to tell you how this could have went, right? We're going to rewind a little bit. I'm going to tell you how this could have went. But before I do so, I just want y'all to know there's certain street brothers, street cats out here who don't like my message. I'm telling you right now, I got a few phone calls, right? I got a few phone calls about my message. They don't like it because you got some people out here who are kingpins and gangsters and thugs in their neighborhood. And they got these young people running up in stores and jewelry stores, and they're opportunists. The same people who were social distancing wouldn't come their ass outside because they was afraid of the cops breaking their foot off in their ass are the same ones bringing people together in the neighborhood to go out and steal. Yeah. And I don't give a damn. I'll call you out. Thank you for the donation, family. Come on, brothers and sisters. Show support for the brother. He's truly doing the work for the kingdom. He's a glitch in the matrix. The word sounds of the fact. The Most High is speaking. Absolutely, family. Thank you, family. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate your support. And that's what it is, you know. Right now, we got to support our own. And that's what it is. I'm supporting my own. And I thank you. I appreciate it. And the truth is, down here in Atlanta, I don't know what's going on anywhere else. I don't know what's going on in New York. I don't know what's going on in D.C. because I'm from D.C., but I'm not in D.C. I can just tell you right here what's going on, all right? I don't know what's going on everywhere else. I'm only studying my immediate location right now. And I can tell you, it's a huge death trap. It's a huge death trap, man. Now, I feel like at times that we have not learned anything from the brothers and sisters before us. I'm talking about your Marcus Garveys, your Malcolm X's, your Martin Luther Kings, even your Larry Hoovers, your Huey P. Newtons. Right now, this situation makes me think of Huey P. Newton more than ever. This makes me think of Huey P. Newton a lot. Did we learn anything from Huey P? When the Black Panthers organized, they had a certain aurora to them. Even the Nation of Islam, like them, dislike them. When they organized and came together, they had a certain aurora to them. It was order and decency. You knew exactly who was marching. You knew exactly who was fighting for what. Black Panthers, Huey P. Newton, they came strapped up, went to the congressional office with guns, marching, all of them wearing black leather coats. What I see in the streets right now is white supremacist groups, black supremacist groups, different political factions. I see tyrants. I see those people from the purge out there too, wearing those masks, those little demonic masks with the clown smiley face on. Yeah, I see some real live freaks out there too. The freaks come out at night. Yeah, I'm talking about the degenerates are showing up. You know why? Because the Most High did not organize this time for us to go to war out here in these streets. You out there with rocks and picket signs. They gonna come out there with AK-47s, AR-15s. Yeah. So when you got your rocks and you throwing your rocks and you get hit and your body get tore from limb to limb while you out there throwing rocks at tanks. Another wise slogan. Never bring a damn knife to a gunfight. This is simple stuff, people. Never bring a knife to a damn gunfight. Never bring a picket sign to a damn gunfight. What President Trump say? If you thugs keep looting, we gonna start shooting. You already been warned. You done been warned. So when them bullets start flying and bodies start hitting the floor, I don't want to hear I'm telling you right now, I don't want to hear nobody talking about, my baby was a civil rights activist. No, your baby should have been turning to the truth and turning to the Most High, not trying to take this into their own hands, because I'm going to repeat this again. Everybody who participating in anything in any other city already knew that it went left in Minnesota. They already knew that it turned violent. They already knew that it went left field. So anybody who went out in these major cities, they knew that they was getting into some mischief. Straight up. They knew they was getting into some mischief. And trust and believe, I'm not defending those cops. I hope they die. I've said this on record. I hope they get the electric chair. I hope they get lethal injection. I hope that they get beat to death. I hope through the midst of all this chaos, somebody gets their hands on these officers. That's what I hope. That's what I hope. Through the midst of all the nonsense, at the very least, get one W out of it. Because right now, I see strategic warfare, and I see everybody about to take an L. And I mean everybody, because the few looters and the few savages and degenerates that's out there, they're going to paint us with a very broad brush, right? They're going to dehumanize us. They're going to make us look like the animals. And you know what? I'm going to tell you like this. If you breaking into stores, if you looting, if you rioting, if you burning things down, I'm going to tell you right now. Anything that's coming to you, you are going to deserve it. You're going to deserve it. You're going to deserve it. Because guess what? Let me just put this out here as well. All the property that you burning down is going to get built back up. There's people who are going to gain off of you burning their property down. Some people even set it up so you can throw rocks and damage stuff. You know why? Because they have insurance. Let me repeat that. There are strategic bricks set up in certain places for insurance claims. People are going to get paid for you burning down and tearing up certain stuff, right? And then on top of that, once they collect all the footage and the data from the contact tracing, because you took your cell phone out there, once they get all the data, they're going to come lock your ass up, and they're going to build up. And those people who lost property are going to get an insurance claim. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of arrests this winter. This winter is going to be a mass arrest of people. Mark my words. It's going to be one of the coldest winters you ever seen. And guess what? When you get arrested, you back in prison, and the COVID-19 and came back. You done got locked up in COVID and came back. See, you got to think of everything that can possibly happen before you make a move. And this is not coming from a man who's fearful. No. I'm not fearful the least bit. This is coming from someone who has understanding. Not fearful the least bit. But if I'm going to fight for something, it's going to be something that I know I'm fighting for. I'm not fighting for equality. I want my freedom. Y'all want equality. I want freedom. There's a difference. There's a difference between us and them. What's the end game? Now, you got all these celebrities coming out now. You got the celebrities coming out clout chasing. Every time something happens, we got to see these celebrities. Listen, we don't want to hear nothing from no celebrity right now. We don't want to hear nothing from a celebrity right now. We in some serious times. The celebrities are the ones who kept us distracted the whole time while they was cooking up this pot. While they was boiling up this gumbo for us. The celebrities are the ones that kept us distracted. The nerve of some of these celebrities to come on TV. I don't give a damn if celebrities are out on the streets. I don't care if you got your little intercom and you talking, no justice, no peace. I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to see him. Because where was y'all at? Where was y'all at when they was already cooking the pot for us because y'all knew? Straight up. And then everybody screaming, no justice, no peace. But you out there being peaceful. Make your mind up. Is this war? Don't bite off more than you can chew. Any war that I fight, I'm going to win. It just is what it is. Anytime I fight, I'm going to win. I don't bite off nothing I can chew. I can't chew. Don't bite off nothing you can't just completely swallow and digest. Any war that you fight, you win that war. You have all the plans in motion. That's just like before you get in the ring. You're going to learn and study your opponent. You're going to be ready. Let me say this. The movie Planet of the Apes. The movie Planet of the Apes, when they took over on the last one that came out, they was more organized than these people out here right now. Yeah, I said it. The Planet of the Apes was more organized and they take over than these dudes out here right now. You know why? Because the apes didn't have cell phones. The apes ain't have social media. The apes ain't had no social media. What I see is a bunch of idiots who are going to die in vain, who are going to incriminate themselves as terrorists in vain. Listen, the enemy, you always got to do the opposite of what the enemy expects you to do. Now, let's say this George Floyd situation. I'm going to go back. I'm going to talk about what could have happened now. Let me tell you what the enemy wouldn't have expected. Y'all hear those sirens? Every time I'm in these woods, y'all hearing sirens. Listen, I want y'all to hear those sirens because I'm in the woods, but I'm probably about 10 miles from the city. All I hear is sirens out here. But anyway, let's talk about what could have happened. What the enemy wouldn't have expected. Because I'm going to tell you like this. I don't believe that those cops was agents or CIA. I think it was a simple case of cops showing police brutality, but the media used it as a psyop. That's what I believe. But it is what it is. Everybody have their own thoughts regarding this. I think it was a clear-cut case of cowardice police who could have been stopped. I don't think the people around them was agents. I don't think it was set up. I don't think it was theater. I think it was cowardice officers who murdered a man. But I believe the media took it and spent it. That's my thoughts regarding it. Do I think it's going to be justice? Absolutely not, because even the police are covered in whatever agreement that they got going on behind closed doors to come against God's people. The media have some type of agreement. And I have no doubt about that. The media, the police, the military, all of them know what's to come. They already been briefed on what they can and can't do. And they can set up psyops. But let's talk about what would have confused the devil. Y'all hear more sirens, police cars. What would have confused the devil is, let's say people went and got signatures instead of protesting. That would have caught them off guard right there. That would have caught them off guard if everybody in Minnesota, Minneapolis would have got signatures and took it to Congress and began to try to get these men persecuted. That would have confused the devil. That would have confused him because he would have been like, damn, we keep showing this on TV. We expected them to feed into the New World Order, martial law. This didn't work. All right, let's try. They would have tried something else. But it would have caught the devil off guard. We got to outwit the devil. Napoleon Hill. Read Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. Read Sun Tzu, Art of War. If a man can control your emotions, then he controls you. If a person can provoke you to anger, he controls you. Floyd Mayweather, he frustrates his opponents. I watch him. I admire the way he fights. I admire it. Not talking about Floyd Mayweather as a person or a celebrity, but the way this man fights, it's admirable. Because listen, there is no type of insurance for boxers who get their head rocked. I know y'all be like, his fights are boring because he ain't getting hit. I know people believe that. But guess what? It's not like the NFL where boxers, you know, they have some type of contingency plan or insurance and their family can get a nice lump sum. It's not like that with boxers. So you got to protect yourself. Matter of fact, when you go in the ring, they tell you, protect yourself at all times. So that tells you that learning how to fight defensively is more important than learning how to fight on the offensive side. So I respect Floyd Mayweather. He understands boxing. He understands strategy. And I watch this man round in and round out agitate his opponent. He agitates them. Soon as they get frustrated, they get volatile. When you get volatile, you make mistakes. 90% mental, 10% physical. I'm telling you, it's a mind game. It's a psyop. You gotta outwit your enemy. You can't do what he expects you to do ever. Ever. Never do what your enemy expects you to do. Because then he controls you. And Satan is a master manipulator, man. Y'all gotta understand he's a master manipulator. He uses this television, man. He uses the television to manipulate you, to provoke motion, emotion. When you operate it, and this is speaking directly to you men out here, this is a thinking man's game. The moment where you get outside of logic, you're in emotion. The moment where you get outside of logic, you dealing with emotion. I don't deal well with emotion, man. You got to be a third dimensional thinker right now in this time. Third dimensional. Don't put nothing past your enemy. Everything could be a trap. Everything could be a trap. Believe nothing you hear and half of what you see. Believe nothing you hear and half of what you see. Let's see, we got 700 people in here. 300 likes. Y'all mash that thumbs up button. We're going to get 1,000 people in here because today, this message, it needs to be heard. Y'all mash that thumbs up button, man. Now, I'm going to share an interesting story with y'all because I rock with y'all. One of the brothers emailed me about this story and I did my research on it. So everything I'm about to tell you is factual. It actually happened. I'm gonna tell you a story here. So there's a gentleman out in Washington, D.C. And I know people who know this gentleman. They can confirm this story and everything, right? When the protests started kicking off in D.C., the protests started off calm. They were friendly protests. But the protests in D.C. quickly turned violent, turned riotous. People quickly start breaking into stuff, right? The young man who went out solely to protest, wide-eyed, just wanting to go out there and pretty much, you know, stand for something. Nothing wrong with that. As the protests turned violent, as the protests turned to a riot, the young man decided to continue to participate. He broke into a supermarket, a small supermarket. He had 2 onlookers as he's breaking in. In the shadows, the store owner is there with a shotgun. The store owner comes out of the shadows. He shoots the young man. He kills the young man. The onlookers ran. Who was wrong in this situation? The young man who just wanted to go out and represent for his people, who decided to stay for the riot, who decided to break and enter, vandalize, or the man who was protecting his business, the man who was protecting his livelihood. The takeaway from that story is this: when the enemy come, when evildoers come, protect your own, regardless of who it is. Because listen, I'm gonna tell you like this: they start releasing prisoners for a reason. This whole puzzle fits together. They start releasing prisoners for this time we living in right now, which is a purge, a real life purge. Everybody in masks. You got different factions out there, white supremacist groups. You got tyrants out there. You got everybody out there. And they all hiding in the shadow of the night, right? You got police who are tyrants. You got military. You got National Guards. This all spells catastrophe right here. And I'm going to be honest, and I know that you're not going to like, some people are not going to like this statement I'm going to make. It's an unpopular opinion. But to a degree, you should be glad that the National Guard is here. You know why? Because if somebody don't stop what's going on, they're going to be kicking down your damn door next. The same people rioting, polluting, breaking into stores, they're going to be breaking into your damn house next. Yeah. So everybody involved in the chaos, that's going to knock out a big chunk of people. It's going to knock out a big chunk. But you know what? The devil is strategic. He's going to do it strategically. He's going to do it strategically. When we going to get strategic? During Killer Mike's press conference here in Atlanta, he only said one thing that made sense. There's no time to riot or protest. It's time to strategize, organize, and mobilize. That's the smartest thing I heard any celebrity say, although I don't agree with a lot what he said regarding voting and going to the polls. Damn it, we ain't doing no more voting. We done with all that. Now, I want y'all to imagine if everybody came under one accord and we had laws in place, we had orders in place, we were all representing for our God. And the reason why I always bring the Most High into this equation, because I have more respect for Muslims who die for their belief than all these people coming together who have different ideas of what justice is, who have different ideas and dying out here in vain. If you want to do some damage, take it to the people who done the damage. Take it to the people who done the damage. And straight up. Somebody said crisis actors. You got some of those out there. You got agent provocateurs out there. There was a video that I shared of a brother pointing out the fact that they had rocks, stones. They were bricks sitting beside a building. No construction, nowhere in sight. The bricks were strategically placed there. I shared it on my community board. The bricks were strategically placed for them to bang those buildings up. They are strategizing war right now. They strategizing war right now. And a lot of people falling for it. A lot of people falling for the hokey doke, man. But again, I'll say this. For those who have their hearts in the right place, I understand. Because listen, watching such a dramatic event take place, the way George Floyd was killed, there's something that's in us that it really boils our blood. It's our ancestral lineage. It's something in us when we see things like that. And there's a mechanism that triggers us. But if you're going to fight a war, you fight to win. You fight to win. This is a thinking man's game. Strategize for your family. Have contingency plans in order for your family. Go and get non-perishable foods. You're in war times right now. Go get non-perishable foods. Rice, beans, peanuts, cashews, plenty of water. Go out and get your real essentials. If you have land, plant you some gardens. Stay out the way. Stay out the way, ladies and gentlemen. Stay prayed up. Stay armed up. Everything that you're seeing happening right now is all prophetic. You got brothers and sisters who've been blowing the whistles for years. We knew that this was coming. I mean, we knew it was coming. We talked about martial law 8-9 years ago. We talk about the New World Order 8-9 years ago. We've been talking about it for years now. We knew it was coming. So now it's preparation time. It's time to turn to the Most High God, the real God of war. Turn to the Most High God, the God of war. And when he returns, it's going to be perfect execution. Perfect. It won't be no announcing on social media what we doing and how we going to do it. It won't be different groups coming together causing chaos out here looking like the purge. Nah. And again, I'm not protecting no police officers. I have a history with police. I don't like police. I don't like the bad police. Let's put it that way. Brothers and sisters, let me paint a picture to you. There's some brothers and sisters out there who are supposed to be out there who are police to stop certain situations from going to left field. We don't talk about those cops. We don't talk about the cops who lost their job whistleblowing. But at the same time, I don't rock with the cops. You understand? I don't. But I understand. I understand, man. I understand why brothers and sisters are doing what they're doing. And I'm not going to go protect no cops out here in these streets either. Like I seen some footage going around. Where it was a band of brothers holding hands trying to protect a police officer. Not doing that. They out there rioting. You let whoever, that right there was just a crazy sight to behold. Whatever happened, happened. If y'all, listen, if you out there, do what you do. But don't bite off nothing you can't chew. Don't bite off more than you can chew, man. People saying that the Floyd situation is a fake. I highly doubt that was a fake. But, believe nothing you hear, half of what you see. But as of now, unless some proof come out, then I'm keen to believe that we watched a man murdered. Listen, they've been murdering us for years, man. They've been murdering us for decades and decades, and that's nothing new. The question you should be asking is, why is the mainstream media publicizing it so heavy? That's the question you should be asking. Not whether it's real or fake, because listen, there are brothers dying right now as we speak. There's somebody getting killed by police right now as we speak, in an isolated event. You understand? So that's the question you want to ask. We be dying every day from police bullets. We dying every day out here, man. So I'm not one to believe that was fake. I mean, that's not something that's hard to believe, that an officer did something like that. But why did they publicize it like that? Why has it become legal to show black men being killed on camera on national TV? These are the kind of questions I ask. Unless they done legalize public lynching. Unless they're trying to utilize fear tactics. Unless they're trying to get you to do something, to behave a certain way, to control you. This is not checkers. This is chess. We are not playing checkers. We playing chess out here. Your enemy, he been plotting on you for decades and decades and decades. Do you really, truly think than an elaborate move like we're making right now as people. Do you think that makes sense? This is too elaborate. And now you got, listen, a red flag for me is when I seen celebrities involved. As soon as I seen celebrities involved, I'm like, nope, there's a red flag. Yep. Somebody said they force us to go outside to protest to get coronavirus wave number 2. Let me say this. What happened to the coronavirus? What happened to COVID-19 with all this going on? I thought we supposed to be social distancing or everybody gonna damn die, right? We ain't hearing nothing on the news about coronavirus right now. We ain't hearing nothing about COVID-19 right now. Military warfare. COVID-19, military operation. Do that sound like a disease or a military operation? COVID-19. Think about that. Do that sound like a respiratory disease to you? COVID-19? COVID. Sounds real close to covert. Covert Operation 19. Yeah, PSYOP. The plot to get everybody in mass to come out and fight the government. Come on now. We got to use our minds. Let me tell you like this. This winter is going to be something to behold. Everybody involved in all of this garbage going on out here. Listen, if you out here doing your dirt, what I say is not going to stop you from doing your dirt. If you're going to go out here and do your dirt, nothing I say is going to stop you. But what I will say is, damn it, at least don't bring your cell phone. At least leave your cell phone at home. I mean, damn. I mean, the streets done changed that much. I ain't been in no streets in many, many, many years, man. But damn it, we always knew that we don't bring cell phones because cell phones are tracking devices. Y'all think that people don't know what y'all doing. I made a video on Patreon about the looters, and y'all gotta watch that. Thank you for the donation, family. It says, if you can spend over $100 on kicks made by the enemy, why not support our brothers and sisters? No doubt, man. I appreciate that. That's highly appreciated, because for those wondering where these proceedings go, we have a spiritual retreat in Jamaica. You can follow us on Instagram. It's spiritual_retreat. We also have a WhatsApp number, which I'll share in the description box. And what we're doing, because I want you to know what we're doing. We're building a place for provision, all right? We have the Wood Rush Spiritual Retreat. We have a hotel/resort where we have, it's 35 rooms for people to come out and visit. Actually, it's 38 rooms. I apologize. It's 38 rooms where people can come out and visit our retreat. You can go meet Elder Larry Culture and learn how to till soil and live off the land and grow crops. And we're making some real provisions, even got provisions in place for people who may want to take permanent residence. So the proceeds, a lot of this go to my travel expenses in particular, once it's time to go, making sure that I can go over there and do the work I need to do and still be able to give y'all content. And for those who want to donate to the spiritual retreat, then I'll leave a link in the description box as well for the Cash App. And here's the beautiful part about all of this. In the WhatsApp group, we literally have real-time updates. You can see the work being done. This ain't no Umar Johnson school. You understand? You can see the work being done. You know what I'm saying? You see brothers out here working hard. You know what I'm saying? Building, getting things ready, tilling soil, building bamboo fencing. So you see where your donation goes when you donate into the spiritual retreat, all right? Which I'll leave a link in the description box. So, you know, that's what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. If you support your own is going to be the ones who make the provisions in these last days. It's just simple as that. It's simple as that. If you continue to support those who oppress you, then the oppression continues. It's just that simple. Somebody said they can track your vehicle too, New Breed. Yeah, they could track your cars, everything. You're right. A lot of these new cars got the tracking system. You 100% right. This is a thinking man's game, ladies and gentlemen. We're using our minds in these last days. We thinking. Like, let me tell you something. Anything that's done impulsive, a lot of the times is wrong. And when I first seen that video, my blood started boiling. You know, I immediately angry about what I seen. But see, a lot of the times that can provoke action, and that could be the wrong action. Sometimes you got to sit back and judge the whole matter of a situation. Watch things unfold a little bit. Plan, strategize, think, use your mind. And it's not about being afraid. It's not about being fearful in any way. That same pain and anger and energy that you got, transmute that energy to do something for your people, man. Transmute that energy to sound the alarm. Transmute that energy to help a neighbor. Transmute that energy to really organize. You know what I'm saying? Don't use that energy to throw a damn rock at a car or burn down a building where they're going to get an insurance claim and get their money back. It makes no difference. Use it to do something righteous. There's nothing wrong with being angry. It's nothing wrong with being pissed off of the injustice. I get it. But unless you have a plan, A, B, C, and a contingency, I'm not rocking with you. I got to know what the plan is. I don't just follow behind anything. George Soros set this up. You telling me that the revolution has now become televised and the leader is George Soros? Not buying it. I'll wait till the Most High. I'll wait till the Most High tell me that, look, it's time. It's time to go to war. Because when it's time, it's time. This right now, what we seeing is a keg about to boil over all the way into the point the Most High intervened. We looking at the days of Noah right now. Chaos. And that's just what it is. And man, it's been always an honor building with y'all in this particular stream. I'd like to thank y'all for coming in and tuning in, showing y'all support. Everybody who donated, and I wasn't able to shout y'all out. Hey, thanks for showing your support. We're going to be getting lives every day. You're going to be getting exclusive content tonight on Patreon. Recently, we've been getting a lot of people coming through on Patreon. They loving the content. And I mean, I'm doing passes for, you could set your own tier on there. So I'm going to leave a link down in the description box. The video I'm going to do tonight, it's going to be some fire. And you do not want to miss it on Patreon. Also, follow me on Instagram at newbreed404. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Turn on all your post notifications so you can get videos as they being uploaded. As always, man, I love y'all. Stay safe, stay strong out here. Shalom and peace.